Feeling May after going through hell to stay together. 25F26M. Together 3 years. I've been in an extremely up and down relationship. We were engaged but we took a step back and are just monogamous now. A lot of our problems resulted from him. His therapist calls him a narcissist fence sitter with stress and anxiety issues but not a full-blown narcissist. However, most of our relationship he acted like a textbook narcissist. I didn't realize it until 4 months ago in my own therapy session, and since then he's truly wanted to not act like a narcissist and try to change. I forgave him for every mistake imaginable and he's going to therapy and working on himself to overcome his issues. I've grown so much too and I feel like a stronger person. I now know immediately when he's manipulating me or gaslighting me. Tell him and 50-50 he listens in the moment. Afterwards he is okay and usually sees my view and agrees. We both have goals and are working on ourselves. We share the same vision and he supports me. But in the event of conflict, things get terrible very fast. Lately we've been okay and on the same page. His life is finally on track and he finished law school, hardest/most stressful time in his life. Everything has been leading up to this point. He's finally changing, done with stressful school, we plan to buy a home and live together full time, and we both know our issues. This is what I wanted so badly 3 years ago. Even a year ago this was a dream. But now I can't shake this feeling of May from my head. I enjoy being around him for the most part but there's no more spark or overwhelming love. To an extent it's like I'm playing a part and it's comfortable for us. It also doesn't help it's a pandemic and we are all we have. We'd both be completely alone otherwise. On a certain level I think I'm denying all the pain and hell he put me through. I'm trying to focus on the current moment and the future because I do see significant changes in him. But it's like a part of me, deep down, knows my pain doesn't end here. I even have dreams 2 to 3 times a week now about him cheating, neglecting me, or screwing me over. I want to be excited about this new chapter, but I can't. Unfortunately, the parts he hurt still live inside me and haven't healed. Has anyone ever been in a situation like this? And did you eventually leave or did it get better? Is this a normal low in a relationship? Especially after recovering from trauma of sorts. Too long didn't read, narcissist leaning BF finally trying to change, going to therapy, and has made big changes. But I feel apathetic. Is this a sign I still need to work on past trauma from him or that I've outgrown this relationship? Edits/details, we definitely still have our issues and he still has so much to work on. We've had rough days and he still has a lot of NPD tendencies that negatively impact us. But his attitude towards the work he needs to do is positive, which is a first. Well, either it is your inner voice asking if this is going to be permanent or you spent too much time reaching a goal and it is anticlimactic because you were used to the unhealthy up and down dynamic. If you are in a headspace where up and down is normal, maybe do some self-reflection or individual counseling yourself. I very recently got out of a 2.5-year relationship that had a lot of ups and downs complicated by mental health. In the end, I was also feeling May, there were one too many downs, and you can only be hurt by the same person so many times before your feelings start to change. Still have plenty of positive feelings toward my ex, and he's restarted therapy for the 2nd time and meds for the 3rd. But I finally realized that we likely wouldn't be happy regardless of all this, and even if we were to get better in a few more years, I realized that I was too tired to potentially go through more years of stress just on the chance that things would someday change. The loss I feel is a lot more related to the what could have been and thinking about the long past honeymoon phase, and not related to the reality of the relationship itself. I'm confident that breaking up was the right thing to do, but it was still hard. I'm not saying you have to break up with him, just sharing my experience having just been in a similar situation. Wish you all the best. It doesn't have to be this hard. It should never be that hard. I think you've outgrown the relationship. I now know immediately when he's manipulating me or gaslighting me. I tell him and 50-50 he listens in the moment. I realize there are people out there who just won't manipulate or gaslight you in the first place. Sounds like the only thing keeping you in this relationship is inertia, not a reasoned decision about what's best for your future. Did I, 28F, do the right thing by breaking up with my boyfriend, 28M, after finding out he has a Reddit account for nudes? We've been close friends all our lives. Things got serious as we started dating 2 years ago. I stumbled across his secret Reddit account where he saves hundreds of nude photos of your everyday girl. My initial reaction was that this is a normal guy thing. That is, until I saw that he made comments to a few girls asking for more videos and photos. Did I do the right thing by breaking it off, or was I too harsh? Too long didn't read. Found boyfriend's secret Reddit account where he saves nudes/make comments. Breaking up was the right thing or overreaction? I would have done the same thing. Some people would be comfortable with their boyfriend looking at nudes, but I feel he should have been upfront about this early, and basically let you know he was doing it. I think it would be easier to be okay with if you knew all along he was doing this, and agreed on some boundaries, maybe no messaging, comments. I would find soliciting nudes and videos to be cheating. Other people would not, but it's your boundary to have. I found an ex of mine doing the same thing. He was asking for more nudes and videos, and personally, I considered it cheating. Talking sexually with anyone other than those in the relationship, to me, is cheating. I think you did the right thing. Looking is normal. Interacting is crossing the line. You did the right thing. Jerking off to porn is one thing, but interacting with the girls posting there is cheating. Exactly. I see comments here saying it was too harsh, but once you make that personal contact and you give that person actual attention, that's a whole nother issue, and that's cheating. Watching porn, even live porn, is okay, but once you start talking to and making yourself known to that individual, it's way more personal than porn now. I, 26M, wish my wife, 26F, took an interest in my life. My wife and I have been together for 7 years. We've always been different in terms of hobbies and interests, but we have similar values. Over the years we've tried getting into each other's interests, but it always lead to conflict. So now we pursue our hobbies separately or with friends. She spends most of her evenings/weekends reading, writing, crafting, etc. I spend most of mine playing video games, watching TV shows, coding, etc. We spend a lot less time together these days, but most of the time this works for us. What I find myself wishing is that my wife would listen to me more when I talk about my hobbies. If I come to her excited about something, it seems like she barely listens. Maybe she'll give me a "that's nice dear" or ask a question about the very last thing I said, but that's all. By contrast, I really do listen when she talks about something, her job, hobbies, etc., even if they're not my interests. She also doesn't compromise easily, and with quarantine this is hard because a simple date like a movie night doesn't work because she doesn't like movies. Like, any movies. Am I asking for too much here from someone who is so different from me? Too long didn't read. Wife never seems to care when I talk about things I care about. She also doesn't compromise easily. Do you guys ever have State of the Union talks? Once or twice a year? Do you ever sit down and just talk about the relationship? How things are going, how you both feel, that kind of thing? If you don't, maybe now is a good time to start that habit up. Lots of couples only ever seem to address the state of the relationship during or after an argument, and even then it's usually only about the things that are a problem. It can be really helpful to have a wider scale, holistic discussion about the relationship outside of times of conflict. What you both love about it, what can be improved, do you two have any shared goals? Do either of you have needs going unmet, or is your partner doing great at meeting your needs? Those things of things. Which brings me to my above quote, she doesn't compromise easily. Have you ever approached the problem asking her to help you create create a solution? Have you ever said something like, "Sometimes I feel disconnected from you, and I'd like to find more things that bring us together"? I need your help to do that, though. It's been hard for us to find things we both enjoy. Can we both come up with 2 to 3 ideas, and then talk about them? And if she shoots down all your ideas, you can point out, "This is going to have to be something that we both compromise a little on in the interests of the relationship." Sometimes I feel like you're not willing to compromise. Do you feel the same way? Do you really want to talk to someone about something that bores them to death? So, what solution exactly is it that you're looking for? Do you want your wife to just suddenly be interested in your hobbies? Do you want her to fake excitement? I'm just a little lost on exactly what endgame you're going for. Welcome to how most women listen and go along as their males drone on about sports, games/electronics, etc. etc. Maybe find something in common to geek out on, but really most don't have to share hobbies. No BF wanted to hear me geek out on handbags, makeup, chiclet, hair, woman shrugging. Am I asking for too much here from someone who is so different from me? Yes. When you were getting to know your wife, you had an opportunity to reject her as a partner and seek out someone who aligned more closely to your interests. You may not have realized it back then, but that was a conscious choice for how your relationship would play out in the future. You lucked out insofar as your wife was the type of person who did not need maximum shared time/shared hobbies to be happy. I understand where you are coming from. My partner and I are as night and day as you and your wife. Similarly, we enjoy our time apart at home and it does not create a rift in the relationship. I find myself wanting to share my hobbies with others. I find a group on Discord or a message board, Reddit or otherwise. This is part of the trade-off you agreed to when you selected this woman as your partner. I'm sure she brings many other good things to your relationship, but an outlet for your hobbies is not one of them. As much as I want to say that she really should give as much consideration to your hobbies as you give to hers, have you ever realized that hearing someone talk about a video game you don't play is even less interesting than them going on a long story about a dream they had? Enjoy video games. But I know that my partner, who doesn't video game, does not want to hear my play-by-play of something she cannot possibly relate to.